What is up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Just going to give everybody a few seconds to jump in. Adam, what's going on, brother? Mark, what's going on, bro? How's your Saturdays going, guys? It's a rainy day down here in Florida. I know it's snowy up northeast. Waiting for a dip, Adam said. We're going to go over that actually here coming up. If you guys can see the thumbnail, kept my beautiful art right here. This beautiful masterpiece right here. We're going to go over what I kind of think we're going to be seeing for Milady. But all in all, you know, Milady has not been doing bad recently, right? I mean, you guys can see, obviously, is where we were at, you know, just a few weeks ago compared to where we're at right now. So we're definitely heading in the right direction. Definitely heading in the right direction right now. So let's see here. All right, let's just jump right in. Before we even start off, make sure you guys hit the like, and let's get this thing going. So just another introduction. Hope everybody is having a great Saturday, right? Happy weekend. Let's see how this weekend treats us as far as in the crypto market. You guys know normal weekends, we probably will have some kind of a down weekend, not really like a big sell-off usually, but just kind of a stagnant, kind of boring weekend. You know, price levels aren't really too much. And to be honest, it kind of looks like we're kind of doing that right now, but we'll see how it works. Like I keep telling you guys, these next weekends are going to be a little bit different than normal weekends just because we keep approaching closer and closer towards the halving, right? So we're going to continue to have these kind of maybe good weekends versus your typical, you know, boring weekends, or dare I say even, you know, sometimes we have a bad weekend, right? Where there's a Sunday, for whatever reason, there's somewhat of a sell-off. So for today, Saturday, real quick, we'll get back into Milady. You can see for Bitcoin, we have come down and retested this 200-day SMA right here, somewhere around the 50,600 level. You can see we basically bounced off of this like about an hour or two ago. I actually was going to open up a long right here, and I freaking missed it. Not saying that it's over with now, but I'm not going to open up a long as of right now, but that would have been a pivotal spot right where we bounced at that 200-day SMA. And you can see as we zoom out for Bitcoin particularly, you can see as we've been on our move up in the last week or two, we have not retested this 200-day SMA up until we were back in this channel. This was back on the 7th of February. So it's been 10 days, right? And what Bitcoin likes to do is it goes on massive runs, but you're going to see it always come back and retest certain levels, right? Still on its way back up, right? Or still on its way up, you know, but it's going to come back and test some levels, right? And as we are moving up, you can see the yellow line going to be our 20. This orange right here is going to be the 50, the dark orange, the 100, and the red is going to be your 200-day SMA, right? And you can see this is the last 10 days of this pump. Well, was really respecting the 20-day, broke it right there, but retested the 50-day, went on another run, broke the 20 again, broke the 50, and look what it went and retested, the 100-day. Like I told you guys, it's always going to come back and retest some of these levels. Tested that 100-day SMA, beautiful bounce, right? Beautiful bounce. But if you notice the trend, it's steadily going up though, right? We'll have some days where, you know, we will, like I keep telling you, we'll come back and retest some of these SMA moving averages, and then we'll get a confirmation on one of them and bounce. You can see that. Now, this bounce right here was a little bit different. We saw this massive move, almost like a Bart Simpson kind of head form, right? We dropped down, looked like we broke the 100-day and we were going to come down. And I was like, I'm waiting to open up a long. We're going to bounce right here at this 200-day. Never even dropped down all the way, right? You can see we basically went a little bit below that 100-day, went right back up. Let's fast forward to what we're seeing today, right? So the last few days, obviously, we saw this massive run up again, right? running a parallel to that 20-day. As long as we're running parallel to the 20-day, we're going to continue a pump. Well, you can see as we kind of went up, we hit our head on some of these resistance levels. You can see we've kind of been chopping in between this channel that I've been covering for the last like few days. Well, today we have come down for Bitcoin and retested this 200-day SMA. And what the point of what I'm getting to is we have not come back and retested this 200-day SMA for 10 days now. So it was due. It honestly was due. Probably better that we did it while we were up here, right? Because, I mean, the 200-day was able to bring itself up towards almost where the price was kind of sitting around. So we went and retested it. Didn't have to break the 50,000 mark, right? So we went down 50,600, retested that 200-day SMA. What I'm expecting for Bitcoin this weekend is probably not too much, right? We might see a Sunday pump. Like I keep telling you guys, these weekends are going to be a little bit different than our normal weekends just because we have this halving coming up, right? So we saw the bounce off this 200-day, 50,600. I'm anticipating that we're most likely going to start coming up towards this spot right here, which is going to be our resistance at around 51.7. Most likely we'll trickle our way maybe up there. Hopefully we can break this yellow line. Remember what the yellow line is, the 20. We might hit our head on that 20 and not even make it up towards this resistance line. We'll have to see how it goes. But eventually we will come up to either this resistance that's going to be the 51.7 or this 20-day SMA, which is going to be the 51.6. Not far away from each other, right? So that's what I'm anticipating that we're going to make the move probably most likely today. We'll have to see if we get rejected or what the actual outcome is. But I'm anticipating that possibly Sunday, it's like a 50-50, right? It's going to either go up or go down, right? No. But I'm anticipating that we might continue to see a nice little run in Sunday setting us up for this week. And what do you think this week's going to set us up for? You guys think we're going to break local highs for this week? Very, very possibly. Like I keep telling you guys, for Bitcoin particularly, I'm really thinking that we're going to get up towards 55, 60,000 towards this next halving. And, I keep telling you guys, especially as we get closer, I might have to change these numbers around. We might have to say that we might get up to maybe 65, 70 or 60,000 to 65, somewhere around those ranges on this next happening. We'll see how it goes as we get closer towards, April and stuff like that. But as of now, Bitcoin, doesn't look bad. A little bit of an off day today, but the fact that we bounced off this 200-day SMA was a very, very bullish sign. We kept that 50,000 holding. Bitcoin is not ready to go down at all, right? So we'll see how this all plays out. Now, getting to Milady real quick. And what's up, everybody? Sorry, I'm just jumping in the charts real quick, and then I'm going to jump on all the comments and stuff like that. But while you guys have me pause, let's see here. We got 12 people, 9 likes. We're getting there. We're getting there. So let's see here. So you guys see for Milady, we've had these nice little, these pumps, right? We've had these nice little pumps, and pretty much as we make this local high, we'll see these descending triangles, right? These bull flags play out, and boom, we saw a nice jump up as this bull flag played out, made a new local high right here at around the 74. And you guys can see since then we have been chopping again in a descending triangle, looking like we wanted to form another bull flag. When we get into this bull run, you're going to see a lot of bull flags on the chart. We're going to be mapping out. It's going to be like every freaking other day. It's going to seem like there's a bull flag because remember, I'm zoomed in. I'm not zoomed out. We're zoomed in. We're looking at, the last few days of the charts, right? We're not looking at like what's Milady been doing for the last 3 months because we already know, right? So we're really looking at what are we looking at? What are the charts telling us from the last week? What can we gather from it, right? And from what I see in the last few days, again, another bull flag forming, another descending triangle looking like it wants to play out. Like I always tell you guys, they don't always play out like we want them, right? Sometimes they'll just kind of chop, and sometimes you'll see they'll do the opposite effect where this descending triangle will actually lead towards the downside. Like I keep telling you guys, I'm not anticipating that particularly because I think that Bitcoin's going to continue to thrive as we get closer towards this happening, and Milady's most likely going to go with it, right? If we do see any kind of dips, just like I think Adam was saying earlier, he's waiting for a dip, right? He's waiting for a dip. And you know what's funny, Adam, is I was kind of waiting myself. And I was like, you know what? Should I just buy some right now? You know, I was like, should I? Because, you know, I usually, what I'll do is if, like, me buying in right now, not buying in, but adding to my bag, is adding a billion or two, right? Just adding a billion or two. So I'm thinking, I'm like, should I just jump in or add like a billion right now that we are technically down from these local highs that we made? So what I'm going to do today, and I'm not giving out financial advice, but maybe you guys should, just, listen to what I'm saying, not giving out financial advice or anything, right? Remember, I have to say that. Is just watch this channel, right? Watch this channel. We might come and drop back down towards the bottom of the channel, which would be somewhere around the 65, which is not going to be that big of a move if you buy right now or you wait, but at least if you can save yourself 1% or 2, right? Who cares? Let's do it, right? So I'm anticipating that Milady's most likely going to chop kind of in this channel right here, and eventually we'll see what we saw probably over here, another breakout. Will this make a new local high? Hopefully, because we want to see that trend continue, right? If we can see those trends, that means that we're steadily moving up, right? And then if that's the case too, it's going to be a little easier for us to map these little bottoms so we can keep accumulating on the bottom of the channel before we see some kind of a rip. So we'll see. Drawlin's kind of like what I think is going to happen. Maybe not exactly. We might come and retest this level right here at around the 63. Remember, in this descending triangle, I was calling for a 63, but we actually dropped down a little bit below at around 62.9. I'm calling hopefully that we're going to, because I want to see us hold above. So if we drop, I want to see us drop a little bit and find support above where we found support here, right? That just tells me that we're at least finding support higher each time we make these descending triangles. So we'll see how it plays out, but I will be watching just like Adam, and I'm sure everybody else is, just kind of just waiting to see when is the best time for me to kind of just accumulate more as of today and this weekend as we move on. Now jumping into the chat, what is going on, brother? Light, what's going on, man? Loving these dips, picked up more ladies, and now I have 140 billion. Nice. Nico said the dip is coming slowly but surely, maybe in a week. It's just my personal opinion. So what are you anticipating, Nico? You think that we're gonna have some kind of a dip coming up? I mean, it could possibly happen. You know, like I always tell you guys, you can't rule out anything with crypto, right? You can't really rule out anything with crypto. The one thing that, like I said, if we continue, if we hold this 200A, I don't see a dip in sight. Not saying it can't happen, and what's your definition of a dip? Retesting, breaking 50 pretty much. Is that going to be the definition of your dip? Like for me personally, I think, like I said, we haven't tested this 200A in 10 days. I think that was the dip. Now, I don't think we're going to just go shoot up now and make new local highs for Bitcoin, but I think we're probably going to hover and maybe find some support above this 200A, hopefully, and then as we get into Monday, we'll start seeing the markets open back up, moving. Remember, we're with the big leagues now, boys, with Bitcoin. So ETFs and stuff like that, a lot of money's coming in Monday through Friday now. You have a lot of the actual crypto traders, retail, buying in on the weekends and stuff like that, taking advantage of some of these dips. But I feel like during the weekdays now, we're at the mercies of the stock market almost, right? So you're going to see a lot of money coming in. If you notice, it's been a lot of times in the morning, either pre-market, like around 8:30 to 9, right before the market's opening up, or during the day in between 9:30 and 4 o'clock. So because that's stock market hours, Eastern Standard Time. Let's see here. Rocky said, good afternoon from Fort Lauderdale. What's going on, Rocky? I'm heading to Fort Lauderdale in like 2 months. I'm gonna take my daughter out. Going on a cruise, and unfortunately, I got a really good deal on a cruise. It's leaving Fort Lauderdale instead of Tampa. So, and also we wanted to we're going to the Bahamas and to the Keys and stuff like that. So, the cruise ships that leave Tampa, they usually go to like Cozumel, over there in like Mexico area. But she's already gone over there, and I didn't really want to go there. And honestly, I'm not talking anything about anybody or any country and like that. But right now, I don't even think I want to go towards those areas right now. It's a little hectic over there right now. So definitely, even the tourist areas are kind of getting a little iffy. Like the beaches and stuff like that. I don't like going to other countries and not being protected. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys can read between the lines, that's why I like to stay in like Florida, because it's I can stay safe in Florida, keep myself safe, right? TJ, what's going on, brother? Flip, what's going on? Racer, Koktoshi, always going to laugh at that name, bro. What's going on? Craig said, at work, what's up? What up? What's going on, bro? Hope you have a good job or a good day at work and your shift ends soon, right? But we were just basically covering Bitcoin, opening the stream, just checking out Bitcoin for right now. We saw this beautiful bounce off the 200-day SMA, so we'll definitely continue to map this as we move on for this weekend. For Milady, like I said, we're going to continue to watch this descending triangle, and I'm going to try to catch whenever we come back down, because we'll probably find some support somewhere around the bottom of this channel, which would be somewhere around the 65, possibly if we continue, somewhere maybe around lower 65, 64 area. That's going to be most likely where we're going to be heading if we get rejected at the top of this channel. We move back down towards the bottom of the channel. Looking at the market cap, we have been hovering around $50 million. We're a little bit below right now. We're at 49. Yesterday when we made those new local highs, we jumped up to like 54 million, right? So it's crazy to see how fast money flows in, right? I mean, it flows in, if the market's like you see, Bitcoin's not really, and even though Bitcoin's doing amazing, honestly, just take it in. It's at $51,000, right? If you would have told me a year ago that Bitcoin was going to be back up at 51, I'd be like, I don't know about that. But you know how traders are. It's like you forget. After a few days, they forget, and they're now 51's like, oh, it's only at 51 now? Oh my God, Bitcoin's going back down. That's how people are. And you're just like, are you freaking kidding me, bro? We just came from $20,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bitcoin's almost 3x in the last year, bro. Like, it's just craziness. But regardless, you can see our volume's around 3 million. It's actually down 30%. We've had some solid volume coming in the last few days, and it will continue. It will continue. You know how volume is, especially on the weekends. Looking at the whole market right now, the whole market, volume-wise, is down almost 30% for the whole market, right? So, I mean, this is just a full market kind of thing as far as the weekends. It's down, right? Market cap down, and we're actually going to cover the market cap here because you guys remember on the last stream, I believe it was, we were talking about getting hit on some resistance as far as market cap for the whole market, right? For the whole crypto market, people don't think of that, about resistance and support levels for the whole market, and we can actually just jump in it right now. So looking at the whole market right now, well, first, let's see here. Fear and greed right now is at about 76. So, I mean, we've been building up as far as fear and greed. But looking at the market cap particularly, this is for the last year. You can see that we have steadily been moving up in the last 6 months, right? This has been basically towards around October to where we're at right now. We've been slowly building up, but look where we hit our head on, right at the 2 trillion mark. And I was saying, I would imagine, just because when we approached it, we weren't really breaking through yet. I was like, I would be surprised, if $2 trillion is not a resistance spot for the whole crypto market. And it looks like we tested it, got real close. It was like 1.97, 1.98 around there, and got rejected. We are currently sitting at around 1.92 trillion. So, not far from it. We're going to definitely probably need to keep retesting that 2 trillion mark before we break it. But, as we get into this bull run, you're going to see the crypto market, and we're going to be covering this, as pretty much daily in our streams now, because I'm just interested to see how fast we move up as a whole, ecosystem, with crypto, how fast we move up. What are you guys' predictions for the whole crypto market, the market cap? For me, I'm just going to throw it out. This has no research behind it, but I'm thinking that we probably would get anywhere around $8 to $10 trillion in this next bull run. $8 to $10 trillion in the next bull run. And this next, I'm talking about full blown bull run, because we're technically already in one. But I'm saying, when we're in the top of the bull run, we're probably going to see some kind of a market cap somewhere around 8 to 10. I was about to say 6, but if you look at the all-time was 3, right? So maybe somewhere, who knows, right? Who knows? But see, you see, 3 trillion was the tip of the iceberg as far as on the last bull run. So who knows? Even if we see 5 trillion, that's still going to be epic for the market, right? Still going to be so epic. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, guys, fear and greed index it dropped down in the last like month, and it is starting to build right back up towards that extreme greed. So we're going to map that out, because normally statistically speaking, when you're in that full extreme greed, it starts to get to a point where you want to hold off on buying in on stuff, because we might see some kind of a retracement. That's what they say, right? But I think that as we get into the bull market, we're going to stay in the extreme greed for a while, right? I think we're going to stay in the extreme greed. There's going to be a point where we jump into that extreme greed, 85, 90, mark, and we're going to stay in it for a while we're in the actual, full-blown bull market, until, things just get to a point where everything is just so overly bought, and then you start seeing a retracement. But I don't think that we're anywhere near that point right now. I mean, you can see on here it's starting to get up there. Let's check out. So, this is all time. I was like, this must be the last year. No, this is the all time. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's not giving me, for whatever reason, the chart's not giving me the all time. I was like, wait, this only goes back to July 23rd. I bet you if we could pull up the whole freaking all time, if you go back to 2021, we were probably at like 90, most likely, right? We probably were at 90 and sat up there for a while, for at least 6 months while we were in that full-blown bull market. So, looking at the crypto bubbles for today. You guys can see, basically, it's what the charts are pretty much. This is what to be expected, right? You have, it looks like majority of the projects are kind of in the red, right? I mean, you have a couple bigger bubbles that are in the green. Is that Caspa? Yeah, Caspa's doing pretty good today. You can see Airweave, whatever that is. I have no idea what that is up. Chainlink is starting to make a big comeback. It's had a little bit of a cool off. Filecoin jumped up. Filecoin's been like dormant for the last like few months. I feel like, you guys remember, I don't know if you remember, but whenever I cover like ICP, I would talk about Filecoin a lot. It's not on my things, but I would talk about Filecoin a lot, because for whatever reason, for a while, Filecoin and ICP, they have no correlation together, but they would kind of like, Filecoin would start pumping, and then like the next day ICP would start pumping. And then Filecoin would have a sell-off, and then ICP would. It's like they were going in sync with each other. And then out of nowhere, ICP was like, I got to go, bro. And like left and shot up. You know what I'm saying? And Filecoin just kind of stayed around like $5 or $6, where I think it's at, it's around $6.35. ICP, you guys know, it's at $13 right now. There was a time where ICP was below Filecoin, right? Below Filecoin. Filecoin was at like $5. ICP was at like $3. And it literally just was like, peace, I'm out. You can stay around these areas. I got things to do, right? But getting back, everything's pretty much, this is like a blah day, right? But it's to be expected. It's the weekend, guys. So my thing that I'm doing is I'm just watching a lot of these projects, and I'm looking to see what can I just continue to dollar cost average in, right? And there's a couple of projects that I want to check out that I'm going to show you that actually are pumping today, that I'm actually invested in. So let's see. Let's see here. Craig said, Milady turning around now, huh? What do you mean? You think it's going back down? We're holding solid levels, bro. Think about it. 67. We're holding still 67, and we're down. Just think about where we were at just a week or two ago, bro. We were in the 50s. We're in the 50s. Milady is doing perfectly fine. Rocky said, nice, probably see you here. You going on a cruise, bro? Craig said, I got out of, oh my gosh, he got out of PRQ and Swift and started to accumulate Flare. That'll be a long-term hold. We'll check out Flare here in a minute. And Nico said, it looks like nobody wants to sell their bags. I'll keep on dollar cost averaging up to $300 million market cap. For a $300 million market cap for what, Milady's? Because we're going way past 300 million, bro, for market cap. We're going way past that, bro. Way past it. So let's check out a couple things. First thing I want to check out is who is invested in ALI. Who's invested in ALI? And I feel like I did a disservice to you guys not really talking about this project much. I am invested in this project. I told you guys that I speak of it briefly, right? And I did tell you guys that I have been, buying in at the lower twos, somewhere, just buying these dips. And you can see this is an AI project that has a very small market cap. And I just been going crazy. We're not really going crazy, actually. I actually did reposition myself a little bit. But, I still hold a solid bag of ALI. Market cap right now is about 112 million. When I was accumulating, it was at like 50 or 60 million dollars, somewhere around there, right? So I mean, I'm definitely like 2x up, and you can see this this fallen wedge right here, this like bull flag that you want to call, was like the longest bull flag in the world. But I was like, I'm gonna continue it and keep it. I actually had this line like back here because I was like anticipating that it was gonna do it somewhere around here. But I didn't change the length. I didn't change the length of this because look at that, right? That's the pole. Now look at this, when the top of the channel. Look what it did. Almost exactly what I played out that it was going to do. Didn't have the time frame properly or like anything like that, but I was like, this is, if we do shoot up, it's most likely going to make a move this long right here. And that's exactly what it pretty much did. You can see. So we're at around 3 cents, 3.1 cents, or the 31, you can call it. And this project is doing really well right now. And I will tell you, this has contributed to NVIDIA. You guys know NVIDIA, the stock. NVIDIA has been going absolutely crazy. They just had, this project's not affiliated with NVIDIA, but NVIDIA is a big, with computers, AI. They just released their earnings, and they have been doing really well in the stock market. Well, a lot of the AI projects started to move up. It's not a coincidence that ALI is up. And if you look at this all red, what else is doing good? You have ALI and you have Fetch AI. We have Mavia that we're gonna cover that. We've been covering it for the last like few weeks. We're gonna cover that too, but that has nothing to do with AI. But it's not a coincidence that Fetch is up, 4% today, and ALI is up 20%. The reason why ALI is up so much more is because the market cap is a fraction of what Fetch AI is, right? So when I jumped out of Fetch AI, I feel like I left out because I sold a little too early. So I was like, well, let me check out if there are any up and coming AI projects, and I remembered, I was like, you know what? ALI is a very low market cap AI project. So let me jump in on that. So that was pretty much my my thought pattern behind that. So, and I would like to hold on to this. I called this out a few weeks ago and said in the next bull run, I wouldn't be surprised if this project can make it up to $1, right? Make it up to $1. It's at 3 cents. Technically, this project, circulating supply right now is about 3.5 billion, right? So this project would need to make it up to about $3.5 billion for it to get to $1, which is, I mean, I feel like in the next bull run is doable. It's doable. So if you were able to buy in, even at 3 cents, you're looking at somewhere of what, over a 20x from where it's at right now. So somewhere around a 30x, a little bit more, if it could reach up to what I'm predicting, $1. So we'll see how that plays out. But solid project to keep a look at for sure. Now let's just check out Heroes of Mavia. This project we've been watching for a while. This thing has really been holding. I tell you guys, this project is like a little trickster. 1 freaking minute, it is down to $6, right? 1 minute's down to $6, and then you go and refresh the screen and it's back up to like $8. Now it's up to $9.11. And I was telling you guys about this project. There's a lot of hype behind it, one, but two, I was like, if this thing can drop anywhere around $6, I'm going to probably just jump in. And I mean the lower sixes. I was kind of looking for this 382 somewhere around the $6 mark. Somewhere around there I was looking, but I also included, as I said that, I was said, most likely it's not going to happen, right? Because or anytime soon, because this project has had a lot of hype. The market cap is relatively small. Let's look it up. And this thing has just really been holding levels. And the fact that you will see it, you think it's heading down, and then you refresh your screen, and then it shoots right back up. Shows you that there's a lot of people waiting on the sidelines, or a lot of people buying the dip for this project. So you can see for the week, it's up 35%. For the month, though, look at the chart for the month. It's up 216% for the month. So this project has been steadily moving, looking very well. Definitely going to break above this fib retracement here soon, but you can see it hit its head exactly where we have the fib retracement on this all-time high right here at around $9.54. It's just any day now this thing's most likely going to break that $9.50, and most likely, we'll be mapping out the next, because this project is so fairly new that, it's just ghost town back here, right? So there's no support levels that you can really map out, other than like maybe those psychological levels, like $10 will probably be a big spot for some resistance somewhere around that $10 mark, just because it's going from, $9 to $10, right? A big psychological spot. So we'll map it out. But for me personally, for this project, if it can drop anything below, I'll bring the bar up a little bit. If it can drop anything below this 236, I'm going to maybe look for some kind of a buy-in on this project. So the 236 is going to be anything under the $7.33. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, after the stream in like an hour, this thing will be down here somewhere, and then you go to buy in and it's going to be at $10. That's how it's been working, it seems like, for me. But we'll map it out. We'll see how it goes. Let's see here. So let's see if there's any updated news that we need to look at. So Honduras tightens crypto regulations prohibits banks transactions and holdings. Looks like Honduras wants to stay in the dark ages. You guys can stay down there. Bitcoin price prediction as Bitcoin market cap surpasses 1 trillion. Can Bitcoin overtake gold? You guys remember I spoke about this not too long ago. So gold's market cap is around, I believe it was, last time I checked, was somewhere around $10 trillion for the global gold market cap. Now, you guys know that there's probably gold hidden in vaults, somewhere. Gold is something that people can just, it's mined, right, around the earth. There's probably so much gold that's untapped, but they have to make sure they keep it at, they have to keep a cap on it, right? Because they can't have a commodity like gold that's worth a lot, right? It's worth a lot because it's hard to mine, it's hard to find. Well, what if they already found like tons and tons and tons of it somewhere, and it's easily mined? Well, that would bring the gold price down, right? And they wouldn't want to do that. So I'm not saying that gold's a bad investment, because you can see the higher ups are going to make sure that gold is kind of capped at a certain spot to where, so it can hold value, right? Even if there's a, they know that there's unlimited source of gold probably somewhere, hidden that they probably already found. But they're saying, can Bitcoin get up to what the market cap right now is for gold, and that's $10 trillion? 100%. But I honestly don't think it's going to be this bull run. I really don't think it's going to be this bull run. Let's see here. We'll just jump in here. Bitcoin's market capitalization crossing the 1 trillion threshold represent a pivotal moment in its challenge against traditional assets like gold. As Bitcoin price predictions become a hot topic among investors, the digital currency recent fluctuation to 51,940 a decrease of 0.7% underscores the volatile yet promising potential of this asset class. Let's see here. So Celsius distributes $2 billion in crypto to 172,000 creditors. Didn't hear about this. Did you guys hear about this? I mean, I think I heard about this when it was basically released, but I didn't know that they already distributed all the funds. So that's good that at least people are getting their money back. I honestly don't think that this is particularly a bad thing, right? Because most people that were in Celsius were people that were crypto enthusiasts, right? I don't think that the fact that they got that now they're getting their crypto back, that they're like, all right, my God, I want to sell and just get out of this market. No, they're probably like, hell yeah, I just got all my Bitcoin back. And Bitcoin, basically Celsius has been holding on to their Bitcoin, making sure they couldn't sell it for the last year, right? Year and a half. And now, look, everybody that's getting their Bitcoin back, whether, I don't know how it works, if they're giving them back so let's say you had $10,000 in Celsius. Are they giving you back $10,000 or $10,000 back, if like you were holding it in Bitcoin? $10,000 in Bitcoin a year ago is obviously over doubled what it is today. Are you getting that what it's worth? Or are you getting what Bitcoin's currently worth right now, but the same amount of money you had a year ago, right? That's a big question that I would want to know, because if that's the case, then those people they're happy that they got their money back, but they really screwed them over. Like, what I'm saying, screwed them over potentially on some massive gains. So let's see here. In a significant move, Celsius, once a leading name in the cryptocurrency leading space, now facing insolvency, has dispersed $2 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum to 172,000 creditors. So it's strictly in just Bitcoin and Ethereum. This incentive, facilitated by PayPal and Coinbase, marks a substantial step towards resolving the lender's financial woes. So it says right here, just reading, this is like the actual what the case said. So claim distributes by the numbers as the date of hereof. A significant number of holders have successfully collected their liquid cryptocurrency from PayPal, Venmo, and Coinbase. Nearly 75% of Bitcoin ETH set to distributed by PayPal, Venmo, and through Coinbase has already been collected. Okay. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't think it's going to be a big thing for crypto. I wouldn't be surprised if let's say the scenario where you get back, you're getting back your $10,000 that you had a year ago. It's not going to be any more. They're giving you back exactly what you had, $10,000 worth. I'm sure those people probably are just happy to have their money back, and they're probably going to be like, most of them, if they're smart, they're going to be like, I'm just going to hold for now, and just run this bull market out, right? It is what it is, right? It was a crappy situation that could have been a lot worse, but I'm happy that at least they're able to, most of the people are able to get their money back, right? Because it was owed to them. But that always goes back, if you guys learned your lesson, even if you weren't invested in Celsius or FTX or anything like that, if it seems too good to be true, be careful, right? If they're giving back these massive APYs, if you just putting your, staking your Bitcoin or your Ethereum or whatever the case is, or just holding a lot of these exchanges just for holding, certain coins or tokens, you're getting back like almost like you're staking it, but you just have to hold it in your portfolio. Like Coinbase does that for ADA, right? Like I get back, I think it's like 4% on Coinbase, which is that's reasonable, right? Now imagine if they were giving me back like 15-20%. It's just a little bit absurd, honestly. I would love it, but at the same time, it's like, how can they sustain that kind of those kind of APYs? Like, it doesn't seem like it's sustainable for a long term, But let's see here. So Nico said 300 million. I'll stop adding Milady to the bag. The price is right. It may pump up to 1 billion or more. I mean, yeah, so I see what you're saying. So you're going to continue to dollar cost average in until it gets up to about 300 million, and then you're going to stop dollar cost averaging in, and then hopefully ride it up to 1 billion. That's not a bad idea. Me personally, I'm kind of doing almost the same thing. Really, I'm just going to continue to dollar cost average in on dips, right? Well, let's say for Milady, in a few weeks from now, we're up to the 88 right here, right? And a dip at that time is going to be towards the top of this fib retracement chart right here, right? So that would be like we dip down to 79, kind of like what we're doing now, right? You look back and you're like, crap, I should have bought so much more when we had this chance right now. Well, if you would have been, listening to somebody that was screaming that for a while, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm even looking back and I'm like, damn it, I still have dry powder. I'm like, why didn't I just buy a lot more, See, I told you guys, it's already hitting. Told you guys, that's what happens. You're going to look back and you're going to be like, why didn't I buy more? It's already hitting me. But what I was saying with that scenario, we jump up to the 88 and we have a dip and we're dropping down to like the 79. I'm going to be buying in, I'm not really going to be looking at the freaking market cap particularly. I'm just going to be buying in, because it's a dip. It's going to continue to dollar cost average in, because now once we get up to like billions of dollars, even if once we get up, like Nico said, there is a certain point where I'm just going to, I'm going to have enough and I'm not going to be buying in anymore, right? Let's let everybody else that's coming in late that could have been here, listening to all this and buying in at a fraction of where it's going to be. Eventually when we get up to like, maybe 300 million, I have to see what I feel when the time comes. But I know when we're up towards like $1 billion, I most likely am not going to be, adding to my bag, because by that time, hopefully I have a secure amount that I feel comfortable with. And now I'm ready to actually start reaping in the benefits, right? It gets to it, right now we're setting ourselves up for that move, right? But once you start getting towards those higher market caps, then you got to flip the mindset, and now we're setting ourselves up for for us to reap the benefits of all the dollar cost averaging in and all the waiting that we've done, all the patience that we've given ourselves, and all the downside and everything that we've gone through. Eventually it's going to pay off, and that's when we get up to those higher market caps. That's where, we're going to flip, and we're going to be talking about this on the channel when we go through that stuff, like what are you guys planning? What's your exit plan? Remember, exit plans. What's our exit plan as far as, where's the market cap? Because eventually we are going to hit our head, even in the middle of the bull run, we're going to hit our head at some point, right? And there's going to be where you start coming back down, right? And it's not going to be a dip, like a little dip, like buy the dip. No. This is going to be where we start actually coming down, right? And we don't get back up to those all-time highs, right? Catching that all-time high is going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard, so don't stress yourselves out about that. It's just getting to a certain point where you're comfortable with the money that you've made, right? You're comfortable with the decision that you made, as far as where we're at and where you sold off on and how much, profits you took. So Nico said the problem with gold is that it's unlimited supply. Bitcoin is only 21. Exactly. But if you try to talk to like a freaking gold fanatic, they'll look at you like, oh, it's computer. They can just change the, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, actually they can't. Because right when you change anything on Bitcoin, like the supply, it's called a fork. It's called a fork, and that's what Litecoin did. That's what Bitcoin Cash did, right? Those were all running on the same, however you want to say it as far as what Bitcoin is running, right? But right when they change something on it, it's a fork off of Bitcoin, right? It forked off. It's not on Bitcoin anymore, pretty much. And that's what Litecoin did. That's what Bitcoin Cash did, and I'm not knocking any of those projects. But as soon as you do any kind of change like that, especially with like the circulating supply, it's not Bitcoin anymore, right? So Bitcoin, the original BTC Bitcoin, is only ever going to have 21 million max supply. There's no ifs and buts about it, right? No ifs and buts about it. It's hard for someone that's in gold or in stocks to kind of fathom that, because they think that there's somebody just kind of typing up, the equations for Bitcoin, and it's like at any given time, someone has the power to just be like, all right, let's change the circulating supply to 100 million now. It doesn't work like that whatsoever. Does not work like that. But trying to explain that to people, good luck. Good luck. Especially people that are diehard gold or old school like stock market people. Good luck to that. So let's check out. Let's see here. So we checked out, we looked at this news article. As far as anything else right now, not really seeing too much anything like, like stand out, like, oh my God, did you guys see this happen? Nothing too crazy, right? You just have a bunch of smaller news articles out right now. Bitcoin's latest rally is different as Bitcoin rises alongside US dollars and treasury yields. Yeah, that is a little odd, right? So while we were going through a bear market for Bitcoin, the DXY, or they call it the Dixie, was rallying, right? And they have an inverse effect pretty much usually. So Bitcoin will start rallying, and the DXY usually means the DXY is losing strength, right? Well, recently Bitcoin's been just steadily moving up, right? Well, the DXY hasn't been plummeting. If you were to talk about this a year ago and be like, when Bitcoin gets to 50,000, I was even anticipating that the DXY was going to break 100 and probably be down towards like the lower 90s. It's still at $104, right? But Bitcoin's been rallying as well. It's odd. It honestly is like we're in a time right now. We're in like a time right now that's just like a little, like they said, it's different. It's a little bit kind of something that you wouldn't normally see, in your normal traditional market as far as with Bitcoin and stuff like that. So it says here, Bitcoin has jumped over 35% to over 52,000 since January 23rd, consistent with its reputation of chalking double digits gains in a matter of weeks. The latest move, however, stands out because it's materialized alongside a resurgent U.S. dollar index DXY and the Treasury yields. The DXY, which gauges the greenback's exchanges rate against major fiat currencies, has gained 3% in the last year, with the index gaining around 1% since January 23rd. Historically, Bitcoin has been negatively correlated with the U.S. dollar. Like I said, inverse, pretty much the complete opposite of what they do. Dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down. Bitcoin goes up, dollar goes down, right? Posting sharp rallies only during bouts of dollar weakness. For instance, the DXY fell 2% to under 90 in February 2021 when Bitcoin first rose above 50,000. So you guys see right there, there you go right there. So in the last bull run, the DXY was under $90, right? Under $90. And Bitcoin, that was the first time Bitcoin made an all-time high of above $50,000. Well, this time around, Bitcoin has jumped up to $50,000+ and the DXY is still holding above $100, right? So that's why you kind of look and you're like, what in the heck is going on right now, right? It's like, it's crazy. Some of the things that you thought that was going to be the same always have changed, right? In this next like market that we're in. So it's always, that's why you got to kind of adapt with crypto, right? You kind of got to just go with it. They always say it, and this is so true with crypto, is history doesn't always repeat itself, but it will rhyme, right? So that's why I tell you guys, even in this next bull run, looking back at Bitcoin in the last, since it made the last bull run to where we're at right now, does look similar. It does look similar, right? And I still do believe, like we covered before, we're going to have these, like, where we're going to make highs and then we're going to have these 20%, 30% retracements. I think it's going to be a little less though this time. I think we're going to be making local highs, because they're not technically all-time highs until we get past 68. But we're going to be making highs, and we're going to see 15, maybe 20% dips, right? Highs, 10% dips. Highs, 5% dips. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the market's going to, as we continue to evolve, we're going to be a little bit more stable compared to back in 2021 when we were making these all-time highs. I mean, you saw, we mapped this out plenty of times. This right here, this dip was 32%. From this all-time high, it dropped 32% following. Within a few weeks, it jumped up and made a new all-time high. After this 32% dip, after making those all-time highs, imagine what the market was saying. You guys know how the market is. Everybody was screaming that we're going back down to 10 grand, right? And what did it do? Faked the hell out of a lot of people that did not have diamond hands. And this thing jumped up 100% from that 30% drop, making a new all-time high, doing almost the same thing, making another 20% dip after that all-time high, only to jump back up and make another all-time high, right? So what I'm saying is that's how, we're going to see something similar for Bitcoin, but I think the dips are going to be a little bit less dramatic this time around. My opinion, right? Who knows? Maybe they're a little bit more dramatic. Who knows? Honestly, if it's more dramatic, that means if, let's say you knew that we were heading up to 100 grand, right? It was inevitable. But on the way there, we're going to see these 30 to 40% dips in Bitcoin. What do you think Milady is going to do? We're going to see 40, 50% dips in Milady. Would you be upset with that if you knew that we were still going to be making all-time highs eventually? But and in between now and then, you're going to see these 50, 40% dips. I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset at all, because of the fact that I'm going to be able to continuously accumulate and just keep buying in on those dips. And that's why I pretty much tell you guys, we don't obviously know what the future holds for us, right? But we slightly do. We know, like, if you look at the odds are kind of in the favor of we're most likely going to see some all-time highs coming for Bitcoin and Milady. So that's why I tell you guys, if it's an odd game, like out of odds, just keep dollar cost averaging in. Obviously not financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just dollar cost averaging in, and I'm going to keep taking advantage of the dips, whether it be down here or if it's going to be in the area that we're now in, right? Because we're now in different channels. We're in a different little channel mark. So I'm still looking, like I said, we fall back towards the bottom of this channel around anywhere around the 65 or under. That's where I'm going to just start buying in and continuing to add to my bag for Milady. So we'll see how this plays out. MeX with the 3 muscle signs. What's going on, brother, man? And Jason said, from Florida. Nice. Jason, what part of Florida are you in, brother? We have, there's a lot of people that are from Florida, not just Florida. We have people across the whole world. Not particularly here right now, because I think it's probably early or late and across the world on other across the pond and stuff like that. But normally when we're in like later in the afternoon, we have people definitely from like the UK and stuff like that. But anybody that's from Florida, we have Fort Lauderdale, we have Orlando. Myself, I'm in the Tampa Bay area, so and all across the country, honestly. But yeah, guys, everything's looking good. I mean, we're still holding very well. I tell you, Solana's looks like it's Solana's been not hit, but kind of watching Solana. I haven't been, so my leverage trading recently has been strictly on Bitcoin. I remember you guys remember I was leverage trading like heavy on Solana particularly, and then I was like, you know what? Because when I leverage trade, what I do is I'm watching Solana. When I'm leverage trading Solana, I'm watching Bitcoin, right? Because whatever Bitcoin is going to be doing, most likely it's going to follow suit, right? So I was like, you know what? Instead of me I'm trading on Solana, but I'm watching the Bitcoin chart, right? I'm just going to freaking start leverage trading on Bitcoin. That's what I've been doing. I just been like, I've been trying to stay away from shorting, right? I don't want to. I just don't want to contribute to shorting, right? Even though it's like who cares? You want to make your money. I really haven't been contributing to shorting, so I've really been just waiting to when we see these dramatic drops. I usually will I'll open up a long, Excuse me. Oh, nice. Jason said he's in Tallahassee. Nico's up in Canada. Nice. That's crazy. We're down in Florida. He's all the way up in Canada. What is it right now? It's 60 degrees outside right now, and it's like rainy. It's probably like negative 40. Snowy up in Canada, right? We're in February. I'm not trying to make anybody jealous, but winter's almost done over here in Florida. The heat will be back here probably in the next few weeks. Not few weeks, maybe like end of March. So maybe like probably around the halvening is when the sun starts to really start coming hard out, and it's like it's we have days where it's like back up into the 70s. But our summer, what changes is the humidity starts to come back, and it starts to become like that's when summer's about to hit, when humidity's starting to rise back up, and it's like you go outside and you're like, holy crap, it's so freaking like you're so sweaty. Here it's still snow on the ground. Nice. Hey, man. I think Light was saying he didn't want to, but I wouldn't, bro. Being from Florida all my life, you know what I'm saying? I've seen snow, but being from Florida, I wouldn't mind, here and there seeing some snow, dude. Like I'm sure it's vice versa. Being from Canada, I'm sure you wouldn't mind seeing the ocean and seeing some like beautiful sunsets and stuff like that here and there, right? Something about the beach, you always get those beach vibes where it's just like, you have like we go to restaurants. We'll go by the water and there's like a band playing, and it's just like the sunset's setting, and you have a nice drink in your hand. It's like something about that. Let's see what's trending on CoinMarketCap. So we have VeChain. VeChain's been doing pretty damn good recently. It looks like it's having a little bit of a cool off. But for the week, VeChain is up. It's at about 48%. That's nice. WorldCoin. I'm not not saying I'm against WorldCoin, but I was like, when I saw this thing come out, I was like, it's just sound like a gimmick, WorldCoin. But it looks like it's up for the last 7 days, up 87%. So that's not bad. When this thing came out, I definitely stayed away from it. Has it been out for a year? How long has it been out for? I could have sworn it dropped like in the last year. Pretty sure it did. So if this is the actual chart, you can see when it came out. I stayed away from it, but you can see it bottomed out right here at around, what, like $1? Yeah, exactly at $1. And you can see from that dollar, it's been, I mean, you look at it, it's technically from the dollar, this thing has gone up probably about 500% from that dollar, because it's around $5, right? So it's up technically from that dollar, that bottom, at about 400%. So that's not bad. Market cap still relatively small for the project, around 600 million, so not too bad. Caspa today was one of the big gainers, up today 13%. For the last 7 days, up 17%. That chart doesn't look bad, honestly. Does not look bad. And like I said, you know, as we continue to hold Bitcoin, as long as Bitcoin's at least holding 50K, you know, and if it continues to move up, that's, I'm telling you guys, alts are going to start each and every alt. It's maybe has like a different time frame, but they're going to all start coming alive. Not saying it's in altcoin season yet, but you're going to see them start coming alive and making kind of like what Ladies has done recently, right? I mean, though she hasn't moved like a crazy amount, but if you guys can see, technically we bounced off this 200-day estimate, 200-day moving average right here. If you were to map from where that was the bottom right here, this was technically the bottom right here, right? If you were to map from that spot to where we're technically at right now, we're up about 65% from that bottom, right? So, like I said, even Milady, it's slowly but surely making its way back up, even though we're having dips in between, right? Or we're sitting channels for, it feels like forever. We are slowly moving up. We're slowly but surely moving up. And there's going to be a time where it's just going to be like, it's going to be insane, where we're going to be up like hundreds of percents in a week, right? This thing is going to just go absolutely berserk. And we're going to be holding these gains, and we're going to continue to build off of them. That's what's going to happen with Milady. And it's going to happen for probably a lot of altcoins as we slowly but surely get into 2024, you know, deep into 24. You know, as we get past this, or towards and past this halvening, that's when I think we're really going to see some takeoffs. Now, you guys do remember what I said about the halvening. Let's just say that my prediction is, let's just say, remember I said 55 to 60, right? Let's just say we get up to 60. Get up to 60, you know, I'm going to make this beautiful drawing. We make it up to 60, right? Halvening comes, I'm thinking maybe before the halvening, right? We make some way of a move. It's going to obviously be not this smooth, right? But we make this move up towards around 60. Halvening comes, probably a sell the news event, right? Where we're going to see somewhat of a sell-off. Where we bounce, who knows, right? We'll find out as we start getting closer. We'll have some of these support levels moved, and we might chop around something like this after the halvening. But if you see, even if we make it up to 60 and it looks like, whoa, man, we just dropped down, we're still at $56,000, somewhere around there with this scenario, right? We're still up from where we're at right now. We're still up from a month before this, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months previous. We're still up from all those, right? So I'm thinking we're going to see a sell the news event, something like that. And then we'll most likely see as we chop around, who knows how long it's going to be, but normally it's about 2 months. It's normally historically speaking, as far as a 4-year cycle and the halvening, somewhere around that month, 2 month mark, and then you'll start seeing Bitcoin start climbing, you know, and that's when we start making these all-time highs. And as we get into these areas, that's when you're going to start seeing the altcoins just going massively parabolic. But up until all that, you're still going to see your favorite altcoins, you know, steadily moving up with it. We might not be having these dramatic moves like Bitcoin, because like I said, for right now, we just want to see Bitcoin just strive and do the best that it can, right? We want to see Bitcoin just strive, do the best it can, keep building, get up to those all-time highs, past those all-time highs, right? And there's going to be a certain point where it's not gonna flip, like everybody's gonna just sell off of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's gonna be holding at a certain level wherever it may be, right? And you're gonna see Bitcoin dominance start dropping, still holding pretty strong, right? Bitcoin's dominance starts dropping, and you're gonna see all the alts just absolutely start taking off from wherever they're actually at that point. You're gonna see them to just start taking off like crazy, and that's what we call altcoin season, right? So let's see here. So Sean said Palm Beach in the house. Nice. And he also came with the prediction saying the XRP is going to be the world money. Going to be the world money, guys. XRP. You know, I'm not saying that it's not. Let's look at the XRP chart. I already told you guys that we are going to see some big moves with XRP. Now, I'm glad that you brought XRP up, because I know a lot of people are, watching XRP. Look how it got rejected at the 200-day moving average right here. So, 200-day moving average technically right now is around the 56 mark. You can see it exceeded it for a while. It was up towards almost around 58, hit its head, and then basically could not hold and find support above the 200-day. Excuse me. So, for right now, I'm not saying that I'm bearish on XRP, but, we got to watch it, because the way XRP likes to move is it likes to hover around that 50 cent mark, right? Somewhere around that 50 cent mark, it likes to hover around. So, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if you told me in 2 weeks from now, oh, XRP's back down to 51 cents, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Like, that doesn't shock me whatsoever, right? But I already told you guys, in the next bull run, a lot of people are writing XRP off. Maybe they came back and they're jumping back on the bandwagon because XRP had a little bit of a move, right? But a lot of people have essentially rode off XRP, right? It's just not moving the way they want it to move, right? Everybody's so impatient. So a lot of people, besides the diehard XRP, holders, a lot of people have rode it off, and I'm telling you, this thing might just kind of fiddle around maybe where it's at for right now, bore people out a little bit more, keep hitting its head on this 200-day, and then eventually at some point, like we were just talking about for Bitcoin, down the road, Bitcoin's up, right? And altcoin dominance altcoin season jumps in, XRP's going to explode. XRP's going to explode right when you least expect it. And I already told you guys, I don't think XRP is going up to $5 per se, because the market cap is already so big. But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing definitely jumps up above $1, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing jumps up somewhere around $2 to $3, somewhere around there. Would not be surprised at whenever you least expect it. And the same thing with ADA. Everybody freaking just writes ADA off because it's like it just doesn't do a lot of things, right? It's not a really big fast mover for ADA, So a lot of people write ADA off, which ADA's in a little bit better position because it's above its 200A. You can see it definitely doesn't look too bad. But same thing with ADA. Thing will chop around 50, 60 cents, maybe get up to around 70 cents as we get closer towards the halving, moving, but nothing crazy, right? Everybody's kind of just bored with it, and then eventually out of nowhere, ADA will jump up back up to like $3, So Flare is going to bridge XRP. Nice. I think, didn't you say you wanted to look at Flare? Or he said he sold and jumped into Flare. So let's jump into Flare real quick and see what's going on. Who jumped in on Flare? Was it Craig? I'm trying to look to see back in the... Oh, yeah, that was Craig. Yep. Craig, so what did you, if you don't mind me asking, what did you buy in on Flare? And don't, just tell us the truth. What did you buy in on Flare? No one's here to judge you, bro. Is Flare a new project? I haven't really been mapping it out. I will sometimes see it on the crypto bubbles. It'll sometimes be up there, because you can see the charts. It does have some decent days. Let's look up the market cap for Flare. So the market cap is around $1 billion. A billion, 1.1 billion. If this is the right, yeah, this is the right Flare. So he said he bought in last night. So if I do my math right, it came out in 2022. What, yeah, that's weird. One day I put a video out for something. I don't remember what it was, but for whatever reason, TradingView doesn't go back for whatever reason back to on this other project. It didn't go back to where it originally started. And I'm like, yeah, it looks like this project came out in this, and I got crucified in all the comments. What are you talking about? This project's been out since 2022. I'm like, bro, I'm just going off the charts. I'm sorry. Like, you know, like I was like, I'm sorry, bro. And for whatever reason, TradingView, because what TradingView does is like you can only have so many blocks, they call it. Even though I pay for TradingView, I don't know. But me, if I didn't know anything about this project, I'd be like, oh, it looks like it came out in April of 2023 is the first time it was marked on TradingView. But you have to be very careful because, like they said, it came out on 2022. So, but what I was going to say about this project is it looks decent. Now, you can tell it did come out maybe 2022, but this is a fairly new project because this is the 200-day moving average just started in October, right? So, I mean, this project's fairly new. I don't know about 2022 now that I'm thinking about it, because 200 days from October would be like probably at the beginning, maybe 2022 at the very end. So that kind of makes sense. It didn't really make it on a TradingView yet. After maybe a month or two, it finally started getting charted on TradingView probably for this project. But you can see it is sitting well above its 200-day moving average. And I mean, it looks good. It looks like it's been steadily making some higher gains as it moves. If Greg told me he said he bought in yesterday, let's pull in like a more in-depth chart here. So yesterday was the 16th, so Craig had to buy in somewhere around here. So if I was to do my math right, Craig, you bought in somewhere around the lower 3 cents is what I think it would be, right? Somewhere around there. So even where it sits right now, you should be technically up a little bit, right? But yeah, you should be up a little bit, but obviously long-term project, right? Now this can actually give us some kind of a fib retracement. Let me see if I can maybe get something going here. Let's see if we can work some magic here. All right, so let's see what the fib retracements are saying to us, guys. Let's see here. So, excuse me. Let's see. So, looking at right now what it's doing, you can see it found support, bounced multiple times right here at the 236, and that's going to be pretty much right at that 3 cent mark. So you can see the 3 cent for right now is going to be some solid support. It's bounced multiple times on it. And you can see, looking at the SMA moving averages, you saw it kind of broke below the SMAs, all these, but the 200-day right here. The 200-day is always going to come, and it's always going to be that last like foot in the sand where it needs to hold for certain projects to keep it still bullish, right? Remember, we talked about this at the beginning of the stream for Bitcoin. We just bounced off of our 200-day. So I was like, it still looks good. We're still good. And you can see this project did the same thing. It bounced right here at the 200-day SMA moving average. And it was around about the 31.30 mark right here. Bounced about 2 to 3 times and gave confirmation that it was going to hold that level. And you can see it definitely had a nice little move since then. But that move was able to bring it above the 20, 50, and the 100-day SMA. And you can see now it's basically just riding above the 20-day right now, running parallel. So I wouldn't be surprised locally right now. Price action is very bullish, and you're going to probably continue to see somewhat of a move up before you always see that natural retracement, right? So you'll always see the 200-day SMA right here, and we'll map it out. This is for the 1 hour. We'll keep this chart on here. I'll bring it, since Craig invested in it, we'll add it to the watch list that we'll start covering every day. This is for Flare and US dollar. So I have it on there. flares down here, we'll map it out and we'll keep a look on it. So for the 1 hour, definitely needs to hold this 200-day SMA for it to continue to stay bullish. If for whatever reason it did break that, it would break it and most likely find support right here at the 236 fib retracement at around 3 cents even. That seems to be a pivotal spot. Now, if you're talking about it breaks that, I don't think it's going to honestly do that. But if for whatever reason you always got to map out both situations. So if it did break out below the 236 at that 3 cents, it's most likely going to come down towards the 28 right here at the 382. 2.8 cents will probably be the next spot for some pivotal support for Flare. But honestly, it looks great, and I think it's going to continue to move up most likely. So I was listening to the rain behind me. It's a rainy day. A rainy day today. My dog is like passed out. I just look back. She's like under the covers and stuff. Must be nice, right? She doesn't have a care in the world. And that's good. Man, I saw the saddest thing. I don't mean to flip it over, but I saw the saddest thing today. These people were sharing online, and they were like, there's a shelter near me for dogs, and they're like they have till 3 o'clock today until they're gonna put these 4 dogs down, and they're like puppies, and I'm like, bro, it's like it breaks my heart because I love animals, I love dogs, and like my goal, since I'm bringing it up already, is my goal is to get financially wealthy, and I want to get property somewhere here in Florida. And I want to be able to save those dogs that are at the kill shelters and stuff like that they're gonna possibly kill, but it sucks because I'm not in that position yet, and it's just like looking at their little faces, and I'm just like, damn, like they're most likely gonna be put down today just because there's not a lot, they claim, because there's not enough room in the shelter for the animals. And it's like, damn, it's just sad. It sucks that people overbreed animals, overbreed dogs, and then people go and they drop the animals off because they can't afford them anymore, or whatever the case is, and then these shelters give them like a 3-month window of where they have to be adopted. If they don't, they have to make room for other dogs. And it's like, how the hell can you sit there and do that and like kill these dogs? Like, it's just absolutely hurts me. But that's my goals one day. Hopefully I can we can also map crypto, and I'll also show you guys, I'll have like videos of my rescue that I have with all the animals, all the dogs. So Nico asked, what about SLP? Isn't that Smooth Love Potion? Let's check it out. One day I'll be there to help all the dogs, right? Smooth Love Potion. Doesn't look bad. Obviously, first thing I'm looking at is it's above its 200-day moving average, so definitely does not look bad. I'm trying to zoom out though real quick to see. So this thing bottomed out right here. I think I remember I actually bought in on Smooth Love Potion a while back, and I got in on like one of these bottoms right here and just like ran it up real quick and then just sold out. Like I really didn't want to, because this thing during the bear market was like getting hit like crazy, dude. Like it was getting hit like crazy. Like it dropped like a lot, so I was like, I jumped in and was able to make like a 50-60% gain. I don't think it wasn't any time around here. It was like back when it was on its way down. I was able to jump in at the right time and just run it real quick, and I jumped out. For SLP, I think the market cap is back. It's like pretty down at about 150. I think if you look at the market cap, the all-time high, this thing was up like at $1 billion, I believe, at one point. No, it was only up 280 million. Okay. But you can see this thing is starting to make its way back up. Looking at the market cap wise, you can see the bottom basically during the bear market right here in June of 2022. This thing dropped down to $20 million market cap. $20 million market cap. So, I mean, this thing dropped down, was beat to hell. You can see, and it's slowly, After these like little pumps, it made another bottom, not an all-time bottom, but another bottom right here at the $55 million mark for the market cap, and you can see it's slowly starting to naturally build up. So I mean, the project looks all right as far as the moves for right now. I mean, it looks like it bottomed out around that 55 million mark, which would be right here at the 13 mark, somewhere around here is where it's pretty much dropped and made bottom. So I mean, you guys know how I say, with it being above the 200-day, definitely bullish. It looks like it's going to continue to start making its way back up. Where is it going to, make its way up to? We might be able to map it out and see. So looking at this chart as we zoomed out, you can see the local high right here is going to be around the 42. You can see it's not far from where that local high is. So, I mean, this thing really, look where it found massive support is around this 0.5 at around the 27. You can see this thing was just bouncing multiple times, finding support right here at the 27 at that 0.5 fib. So, if I was to look at this project, if let's say I'm looking and I want to buy in at some point, I would probably have patience to see maybe if we're going to at least come back and retest this 382 right here at the 31. That would be a pivotal spot to maybe dollar cost average in. If I was waiting, if I was already invested on the project, depending on where I bought in, I would just sit there and ride it out, right? Because I mean, the markets are all about to just liven up, as we get into this bull run. So for any project, let's say you were able to catch any project on its down, right now you're probably in the green, but from where I predict that we're going to be heading in the next few months, the next year, you're probably better off to obviously just hold on for the long term, because that's where you're going to see these massive gains, for that, in my opinion. And something like this right here, this project probably will see some nice gains because the market cap is relatively small, at around $151 million currently sitting. So, and then you can see this thing, I'm looking to see, I'm like, holy crap. So this thing at a time was all the way up to 41 cents. 41 cents. God, my dog has allergies right now, and she's like trying to clear her freaking throat. That's what you hear in the background. She's like coughing, driving me crazy. But you can see this thing actually made it all the way up to about 41 cents. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think I remember back when it was at like 40 cents. Back in, you can see in 2021. So, I mean, the fact that this thing is down to under a penny, I would just ride this bad boy out. Honestly, I'd ride this bad boy out, because who knows if this thing even can get back up to like 10 cents. You know what I'm saying? That would be a massive move. So, I mean, pretty much bottom from where we're at right now, this thing is just making, this thing could probably jump up easily to 10, 20 cents on this next bull run. If not, maybe get it even higher than that. The circulating supply, so about 41 billion in circulating supply. So for it to get up to $1, though, it would need to get up to a market cap of $41 billion. Not saying that it couldn't. I just highly doubt that Smooth Love Potion is going to get up to $41 billion market cap, personally. That's what I think. But can it get up to $1 billion? Easily. It's not going to be hard. You guys are going to see a lot of projects. It's not going to be hard for a lot of projects to easily get up to that $1 billion mark. It's hard to fathom that because we just got out of a bear market, so only the really strong projects were staying at around $1 billion or more. But when we get into a bull market, and I'm not saying that SLP is a dumb project, I'm just saying even the dumbest of the dumbest projects will be at like $500 million or like $1 billion. So for this project that has a community behind it to get up to $1 billion or more, easily can happen. So I'd definitely ride it out. So if you're looking to dollar cost average in, if you have the opportunity, around that 0.5 at the 002 would be probably a pivotal spot to continue to dollar cost average in, because that looks like where it's found some massive support. And then obviously this local high at around 42, it's going to need to retest that a couple times, most likely before it breaks it. But it for sure probably will break it. It's not that far from it right now from where it sits. So Nico said in 2022 in February, I bought a small bag of SOP at 4 cents Canadian. Okay, still holding. So I don't know if that comes out as far as Canadian, but like I said, Nico, if you want to drop your average down, keep an eye on this 0.5 fib right here. You might be able to bring your average down before this thing goes absolutely parabolic. Let's see here. We already checked out all that. Fetch AI is at around 73 cents. Not looking too bad. Actually jumping up towards almost local highs right here at 70. Remember, AI projects are pumping right now because of NVIDIA released its earnings. And for whatever reason, because they're like the top, mecca of AI, whenever NVIDIA comes out with earnings and NVIDIA's stock is going crazy, like everything in AI starts just freaking going nuts again, right? We saw that like a year ago when ChatGPT came out. It brought all AI projects to life and everything was just like going absolutely berserk, right? Well, you can see just like ALI that we were talking about earlier, that's up 26% today. Fetch AI is technically up about 4%, but you can see, was this yesterday? This was the 5th. When it bottomed out right here at 50 cents on the 5th, you can see this thing has definitely moved 44% in the last about 10 days. So Fetch AI is looking good. This was another project that I sold a little too early. Around this area, I freaking sold, and I was anticipating that we were going to bounce, see a little bounce somewhere at the 618, and it never happened. So Fetch AI left me. It left me. But you know what? Big project. I believe in Fetch AI. I think Fetch AI is a solid AI project. Probably one of the leaders. Look at this bad boy right here. So tempting to sell right now. So tempting to sell. Let me check something real quick on my portfolio. Who is invested in ALI? What the hell? Bro, I don't have time for this right now. It's telling me to freaking... It's not letting me sign in real quick. Hold on real quick. Holy crap. This thing is going crazy. I have two phones right now, and I'm using, so I will sign in on the same portfolios, and for whatever reason, it's like it'll log me off my main phone, my Apple, that I use the most, and it's like, it's like telling me, do you want to sign up for an account? I'm like, no, excuse my language, I freaking have excuse my language, I'm sorry. I'm like, I already what are you talking about? Like, sign me in, and it's like, I got to go through the whole freaking process of like, the 2 FA and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, every like 2 weeks it keeps doing that shit to me. So it's a pain in the ass. But ALI is going absolutely berserk right now. Looks good. Check this out. Remember, guys, calling for $1 ALI. I think we can see $1. I honestly think we can see $1 ALI. This is this full birth from when it was born to where it's at right now. You can see this was ChatGPT. When ChatGPT came out, look what ALI did. This thing shot up like, I want to say a couple 100%. Holy crap, 1,400%. That's crazy. Yeah, JoJo said ALI is moving. It is, bro. It definitely is. That's why I said I feel bad. I feel like I did a disservice to you guys. Not that you guys are buying anything I say, but I try to disclose that I did buy in, but I didn't want to because I didn't know what the project was going to do. But I did mention in a couple streams that I did buy in on ALI down when it was lower, at the lower twos, and I did catch it when it was when it dropped down to 19. I didn't catch this bottom right here when it dropped down to this 1.7 cents. But, feel like I did a disservice to you guys and not told you, be honest, hey, I'm buying in on this project. But it is what it is. It is what it is, but it looks good. We'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. He said you low-key mentioned it. I did, but like I said, I don't want to influence anyone, as far as I want you guys to do your own thing. So a lot of times I'm like, when I'm buying something, I'm like, I should make a video about this, but it's like, I'm like, no, I won't, because I don't want to influence you guys, because then what happens if the freaking project like tanks or something like that, right? I don't want to be liable, or I know I'm not liable, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to, So I did bring it up like, hey, I bought in on this, but it was like real quick, smooth, and then I jumped out. I was like, moving on, because I don't I don't want. But I guess like down the road, what I'll do is if for myself, if I am buying in on certain projects, I am gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna let you guys know, like, listen, this is a project that I'm looking at, and these are the numbers that I'm looking for, and you guys can kind of do with whatever you want to do with it, right? Whatever you guys want to do with it, but just don't come flying back to me if the project doesn't do good. But most of the time they do good. I feel like I do really good research, and I really do map out a lot of good projects, and I have patience. I always have patience. I will not just find out about a project and just go buy in. Like I will literally bring the charts up, and I'm like, what has this done in the last year? Like, is this a low? Is it at a high right now? Like, what is it doing? That, and I want to see where it's at. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's at a high right now. All right, and I map out just like I do with you guys on the videos, and I pull up the fib retracements. I'll look up, solid supports where it's been hitting its head on, and I kind of decide from there. All right, well, I'm gonna if it gets down to this level, I'm gonna buy in, right? And that's what I do, because I've done it plenty of times where you just find out about a project, you're like, oh crap, and you start looking at it, you're like, and you hear about it, and you're like, and you just go buy in on it. And then you look back, or a week later, the project's down like 40%, and you're like, what the hell? Well, and then you actually pull the whole damn chart up, and you're like, all right, yeah, I bought in at a freaking top right now. So now you're just sitting there holding on to it, waiting to get your money back. So that's why before I go crazy and I just go jumping in on a project, I will always do my actual research and see what the project's been doing. As far as not just the fundamentals, but what has it been doing on the charts for the last, year or whatever the case may be. And like I said, where is it where is the support? Where's the highs? Are we at that right now? Are we at a low? Stuff like that. So, but I'll be a little bit more transparent, as we move on, for sure. So you guys can maybe, just do your own research and kind of decide if that's something that you guys want to do. So just to recap, because I know we've been on the stream for a while. So Bitcoin, not looking bad. What was it the 2 hour? Where was the, trying to find out where, I think it was a 30-minute. Nope, 45. Yep, right there. So the 45, you guys can see, we bounced off of this. And remember what I said at the beginning of the stream. We cleanly bounced off. This is going to be our 200-day SMA. And just to recap what we talked about, we hadn't hit this 200-day SMA in 10 days, right? So I kind of figured it was going to most likely retrace and bounce off of that. And this is obviously, we're zoomed in and we're looking at the 45-minute, right? So we're looking at the 45-minute 200-day SMA. We dropped down earlier, bounced off of it. I was going to open up a long, and I freaking missed my opportunity. I don't remember. I think I was like driving, and I was like, oh, I can't right now. I'm driving. So whatever. That's my problem, right? It is what it is. But I'm glad to see that it bounced off the 200-day. And now I said that we're most likely going to, it's either just going to happen, right? We're going to bounce up towards this 20-day SMA right here, and we're going to hit our head on it. At around, this is going to be, if we jump up anytime soon, it's going to be around the 51,500, somewhere around there, right? We're going to either hit our head on there and get rejected, or we're going to break that 20-day SMA right there and most likely retest this 51,700, somewhere around that area, and most likely hit our head on there before possibly getting rejected. But if we break up to this resistance right here at the 51.7, it's like higher 51.7s, right? 51, almost like 51.8 around that area. But if we break around that area, get rejected, hopefully we bounce off this 20-day SMA and kind of keep retesting this line and then break above. I'm predicting that this Sunday might, be just one of those typical Sundays, but like I keep telling you guys, it's hard to say that when we have the halvening right around the corner. The weekends are a little bit different when we have something like the halvening coming up. we possibly could see a nice little pump coming in tonight, tomorrow, and then setting us up for this week, possibly making new local highs and breaking above where we hit our head pretty much right here at the 52.8. Next level is going to be around this 52.9. Pretty much the 53,000 mark is going to be the next spot of some solid resistance, obviously breaking back through these other resistance that we have at the 51.8, right here at the 52,000, and then right here at the 52,005. Those three areas we're going to have to retest again, but I have a feeling because we've already broken through those plenty that it's not going to be too much during a pump. We easily will break through those. And like I said, next level for some solid, resistance is going to be somewhere around that 53,000 mark. And for Milady, we are back in a descending triangle, a fallen wedge, bull flag, what I like to call it. Hopefully this will play out. I'm looking for the bottom. Lexi, stop that. Man, it's like having a freaking child around here with this little dog. What are you doing? Man, what breaks me off my concentrations here? So, I'm looking for Milady, the bottom of this channel, somewhere around the 65 mark for me to, just continue to add to my bag, right? If we break anything under this channel, even better, right? If we break anything under this channel, even better. But I'm anticipating that we're going to most likely chop around. I mean, look, I made this channel, and look what it's done already. The next candle is literally respecting the top of the channel. So we'll probably stay in this bull flag until we see some kind of another move towards the upside, just like we saw with this one, right? It looks great, honestly. As long as we can make higher lows and start making higher highs, we're on our way up. That's the way it's going to be. So like I keep telling you guys, I'm going to keep dollar cost averaging in for right now. This next spot is that I'm looking forward to DCA is anything under 65. Anything under about the 65.5 mark is going to be where I'm going to be basically just dollar cost averaging in. So we'll see how it plays, how this weekend plays out. But other than that, guys, I'm going to pretty much leave it there. I thank you guys, every single one of you guys, for coming in and spending some time with me today, asking questions, hitting that like. I know you guys are all subscribed, so I appreciate that. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday, and we will be back on tomorrow. There's no football. I'll probably have the stream around the same time earlier in the day, so make sure you guys look out for it. But other than that, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.